In a recent WEP Insights article, our head of clinical nursing operations, Juliet Hulse, made a point that I think deserves more airtime. She states patient burden isn't just a well-being issue, it's a resilience issue. And I want to build on that today because in my experience running nursing operations across global trials, I see the downstream consequences of unmanaged burden every single day. So let's reframe the conversation. Patient burden is not a soft metric, it's a trial risk, and it needs to be treated as one. When we talk about trial risk, we typically think about things like regulatory timelines, site performance, data quality. These are the items on the risk registers, and these are the things that get escalated. But what drives many of those failures in the first place? A patient who drops out because the visits are too frequent, a caregiver who can no longer manage travel, a participant who disengages quietly, not because they stopped believing in the trial, but because demands became too great. That withdrawal doesn't show up as patient burden on a risk log. It shows up as a retention problem, a data gap, a delayed database lock, or even a missed enrollment target. We're often solving the wrong problem because we're not connecting the signal to the source. From a nursing operations perspective, we see this play out in really concrete ways when the study has been designed without genuinely understanding the participant's experience, asking who is this person, what does their daily life look like, and what's realistic for them to sustain over months or even years. The cracks start to appear. Patients start missing visits, nurses flag that participants sound exhausted or confused, coordinators are spending more time chasing rather than supporting, and by the time all that reaches the sponsor as a retention issue, the opportunity to design it differently has passed. This is exactly what Juliet was pointing to. The shift from reactive to proactive has to start with the patient, not as an afterthought, but as a core design input. So what does this mean for sponsors and CROs building hybrid and decentralized clinical trials? It means burden assessment has to be part of the protocol design, not a post hoc conversation. It means asking which visits genuinely need to be on site and why, and where can home nursing reduce the friction without compromising oversight. And critically, who is the patient, and what can we realistically ask of them? When we answer those questions early, we don't just improve the patient experience, we de-risk the trial. If you want to talk through how we approach burden reduction in nursing operations at WEP, reach out. We'd love to have the conversation.